Welcome back to Corey's Classroom online. Today we're going to look at isolating the torso. This is part 1, and the second video, part 2, we'll be learning how to isolate the hips and the pelvis area in much the same way. So, exercise 1, layer 1 is working with the torso. So what you're going to do is you're going to try and keep your hips as stationary as possible, and you're going to be moving your torso around over the top. So to begin, layer 1, what I want you to do is stretch your arms out and then reach for the walls on either side as far as you can. And with all these exercises, please look after your body, be aware of your limitations and any injuries you might have. Please take responsibility for yourself. Okay. With that in mind, what you're also doing is you're pushing for an ideal. So what you're doing is you're reaching as far as you can within your limitations. And you're shifting from this part of your body from side to side. You can do this in front of a mirror, which will help you to see that your arms are being straight. What we don't want is we don't want this, or twisting, or losing your arms being straight. And the reason for this is what we want you to do is as you're isolating and pushing from side to side, is slowly bring your hands down and put them on your thighs, and keep that movement going. And if you do this in a mirror, what you'll see is that your shoulders are staying fairly horizontal. What you don't want is this or this for the moment. What you want is just a sense of moving from the central area across and keeping your torso, your shoulders relatively straight. As soon as you start to do this, just go back with your arms and stretching from side to side. Okay, so that's layer 1. Layer 2 is pushing forwards and back from the same region. Push and collapse. You can put your hands on your thighs again. That helps with this exercise. Good side on. Push and collapse. Don't worry if with all these exercises your movements are relatively small initially. They will grow. In general, they will grow. So, and what you don't want is you don't want to just be moving from your shoulders, or if your hands are not on your thighs, you're flapping your arms around and you're not really moving from here, you're moving something else. So putting your hands on your thighs and pushing from your torso. Correct movement over sides is more important. So what you can do is you can start to breathe if you want. Sometimes breathing helps with the exercise, gets it more in the body. So you can breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. In future videos we'll look at shoulders and variations, but don't think of shoulders as being part of this exercise. The core element of this exercise is the torso moving. The shoulders are an afterthought, like icing on a cake. Another component you want to look at is make sure that your head is staying relatively straight and you're not doing this. You're going up and down. So your head is staying relatively straight, and where it is, relatively level. So there you go. So layer 1 is from side to side. Slowly dropping the hands down and getting this movement. Layer 2 is pushing forwards and back, forwards and back. Layer 3 is adding 4 corners in. So you choose a direction, anti-clockwise perhaps, you're pushing forwards, and then side, then back, then side. So what you're doing is you're combining these 2 exercises, the side to side and the forwards and back. I recommend that you do these exercises with music. Just choose the music perhaps that you're training for. If it's salsa or cha-cha or son or bachata, whatever the style is that you're mostly practicing this for, then use that music to warm up. What you can do is go slow within the music initially. Always do your exercises slow in general. Speed tends to hide inaccuracies or bad technique. And then as you get better, what you can do is then double the speed and then smooth it out. But still keeping the count in your head. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or corner, 2, 3, 4. So even when you're doing the circular work, you don't want to lose a sense of timing and direction. So forward, side, back, side, forward, side, back, side. And make sure that you practice in both directions. We tend to get a favourite direction and then only do that on the dance floor, but it's good to practice both, particularly in the beginning. So that's the part 1. Part 2 is working the hips. And we'll get to that in a future exercise, in a future video. So make sure you practice. Practice, practice. 2 minutes a day, side to side, just work through the layers, then adding the directions in, both directions. And what you can start to do is you can start to play a little bit. And when you start to combine all these things, you'll find that your body is doing all these amazing things on the dance floor. Enjoy.